What's up, Kings? Microwave Blunt here, Executive Mindset Mentor and founder of the Executive Mindset School. Today I'm reacting to Rampage Jackson and how he failed his son, and breaking it down through the lens of elite performance, identity transformation, and strategic psychological reprogramming. If you're serious about leveling up your identity, 10xing your wealth, and maxing out your full potential, this one's for you. Let's dive in.
Okay, let's do this.
Now look, we've all seen the incident by now, all right? Nothing that we're going to discuss in this video is absolving Raj of anything. But I think it's important that we as men discuss how we influence and encourage others to engage in violence by making them feel lesser than because they don't live up to our idea of masculinity. His own father, that he desperately wants to make proud and to surpass, called him minutes before the assault and called him a gay person and clowned him repeatedly. And then his chat went to go clown his son.
Let me call my son. Hey, yo, did you get jumped by a bunch of dudes in tights, nigga? Did you get jumped by a bunch of dudes in tights? No. I didn't send my guns over there. No. You was hugging on a dude in some damn tights. Man, shut the fuck up. I look at your stream, nigga, you was hugging some dudes, some booty shorts. What the fuck? Making shit up. I ain't make nothing up. All right, hold on a second. Now y'all got my son mad at me. Are y'all happy now?
Now, Rampage is joking. He's clearly trolling.
Yes, but that got into the head of his son.
His son is not trolling. His son is actually upset.
My dad can't never call me a bitch. Well, now you just involved fucking Rampage himself, because that's his boy. Yeah, I can handle his own shit. Rampage's gonna come whoop your ass. You don't need his dad. He handle his own shit. Yeah, I got my own shit. Well, my dad can't do shit.
He felt emasculated by the hit earlier. Why am I putting himself together? On many different streams, Rampage will troll his son. Call him gay, call him weak, whatever it is. And I think this is the barrier. Remember what you talked about when it comes to relationships, how people get online and when they got problems in their relationships, they be live streaming the whole thing, and you say how weird it is?
I think it's super weird.
The same thing is happening, but with parenting right now.
Yes.
People are like, Rampage is not ill. I don't think he is, but this comes down to the whole masculine energy thing. Growing up, you saw a lot of guys get into fights because people taunted them, because they needed to prove themselves. His son clearly feels like he needs to prove himself to his father, but also feel like he's, what is the word I'm looking for?
He's forever in the shadows of his dad.
Exactly.
Forever.
Yes.
Hell no, I don't got no bread, bro. My dad got bread. That's his bread. That's not mine. That's why I want to get on brand risk.
Every time he walks in somewhere, his dad is bigger than him. No matter what he accomplishes, his dad. It's just like when you're going out with a star. You're going out with a star. You know, let's go out with a girl. My girl is huge, super famous. I'm never going to be preached. I'm going to be that girl's boyfriend.
Absolutely.
And it's like, okay, but I do shit. Yeah, no, you're he's at the event alone. Oh, yeah. Rampage's son. That's crazy. No, I'm me.
And to add to your point, he has 4 kids. Only one of them decided to be an MMA fighter. And it was the illegitimate child.
Yes.
And it speaks to that psyche where the child who's rejected will do whatever they can, oftentimes, to prove themselves worthy.
Of course.
Tell you, I knew, out of all my boys, I knew he was going to be the one that...
How many do you have?
I got 3 boys.
But if you guys knew Rampage when he was early in his UFC career, the dude was a complete crash out. He had run-ins with the law. I think he had a few actual incidents that probably should have landed him in jail. I say all this to say, what?
His name is Rampage.
Right.
What the hell do you think that name?
As a fighter, I think it's a great persona. It's enjoyable to watch.
But
when your son is living in your footsteps and he's trying to live up to that name, it puts a high bar. And when your dad's clowning you in public, which gives everyone else the green light to shit on you, when you don't got your self-esteem together, to me, it's a recipe for disaster.
Oh, 100%.
Man, I mean, this is clearly hurt people. And this is also about unhealed energy that becomes modeled in inherited behavior. When pain is passed down from one generation to the next generation, it becomes a pattern. And when it's not corrected, and when it's not reprogrammed, and when it's not recalibrated, like we teach in this channel, then it becomes something where it is more like the family language. And it is expressed through your offspring. So these things don't get corrected just because you have a child and you try to put them in a different environment, in a different school, and you try to do differently for them. It gets corrected with you. And I'm not absolving his son from doing what he did. He's his own man, and he's completely accountable and 100% responsible for the things that he did. What I'm pointing out right here is that without reprogramming the pain, the family language then becomes rage and rampage because it never got corrected in the first place. And Rampage seems like he's continuing to perpetuate that hurt of not feeling like he's enough, which is, what I talk about in my podcast and what I talk a lot about in Executive Mindset School is these limiting beliefs that motivates you to act in ineffective or limiting ways. They all start with a belief system. And obviously, his belief system is I am not enough. Therefore, his actions, his thoughts, his emotions are all going to be driven through that filter. And you see that clearly playing out now through his patterns. And until he changes that, meaning his belief systems, and I would say even until Rampage shows as a mirror and example of what that could look like, this is going to continue not only with his son, but with his son's kids as well, because they're just mirroring what they've seen growing up. They're just going to mirror what they see in front of them. And what they see in front of them are people who have unresolved issues and that are bringing old patterns into these new realities. And these new realities are rejecting those old patterns. And that's the issue here. They have a chance to do things a lot differently than, or I say his son has a chance to do things a lot differently than his dad did, but he doesn't see it that way because he's so blinded by that past belief system or that current belief system that he's never reprogrammed through strategic psychological reprogramming that I am not enough, I am not worthy.
Tired of motherfuckers playing with me, bro. Real shit. One of them a bitch and fucking bit me. I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me and shit. Think I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit. None of fucking bitch, bro. At the end of the day, I'm standing up for my self because I'm tired of everybody playing with me.
Man, he's unconsciously acting out through his father's unresolved identity issues. It's just very clear. He's very hurt, but he's acting out through his father's identity. That's how deep identity recalibration and reprogramming is. It goes back to grandfathers and great grandfathers and grandmothers, and it's generational, passed down. And if you don't resolve that, it just starts showing up in your offspring, and it just starts showing up in your life in different ways. And it's pretty sad.
Hey, bro, real shit. Hey, look, I'm not here to say Rampage is, a disgusting father, whatever it is. At the end of the day, he raises his kids. He's in their lives. He tries really hard to find and be in their lives, and I commend that. He could have ignored Raja's existence altogether when he found out about it, but he took him in, he's trying to raise him. But when you involve streaming with your parenting, I don't think we've already established this for relationships. How many times has a woman got online on live stream, said some shit about her husband or boyfriend, and the public lambasts her like, why would you ever say that out loud?
Even if that thing was staged or a joke,
it's emasculating.
It don't look good.
Right.
It don't look good.
I don't understand why you guys wouldn't get from a father that wouldn't happen. Literally, the chat is jumped because he's popular, so his live stream chat will leave to go the guy. And I'm not saying this is okay. I'm not trying to downplay what Raja. Guy that belongs in jail, in my opinion. But can you guys not see how this desire for attention, how Rampage trying to put on this public persona all the time instead of parenting, does it affect the relationship dynamic? Mm-hmm. You're literally pushing people to go bully your kid, and your kid, he's unstable.
It's like the opposite. You want what you want to be? Straight? We already got in a fight once.
Oh, really?
2 years ago?
Yeah.
He sucker punched me.
Well, I saw the slap.
How'd that go for you?
And what'd you do? Did you slam him on his head?
Oh yeah, that motherfucker in the hospital that day.
Yeah.
I never get guillotined on nobody. I didn't want to keep punching him, so I guillotined him and he wouldn't tap out. And
you put him to sleep?
Yeah. Roger and his oldest son, whole life, I knew them two wasn't going to college. And my two Japanese kids, I knew they was going to college. So I saved up college tuition for the two Japanese kids and bail money for Roger and his brother. So don't fuck with him.
And just think about your own dad saying that shit in public. Like, my kids are crash out. I know it. I already got the bail money ready. And you feed into that. You're the kid publicly. Like, yes, I understand ripping all that stuff. Your kid's clearly upset because something happened to him. Y'all can't have it both ways. You can't tell me that fathers are incredibly important, that kids need their fathers, and then also say that Rampage Jackson had zero influence. That don't make no sense.
Exactly.
If you are literally bullying your kid, calling them lesser than because they didn't handle some situation the way that you think they should have, then you have an influence. And I think it's okay to discuss that.
It's a tough one because at the end of the day, you being upset about a situation or how you were raised validates how you feel about someone, but it does not absolve of your actions. The people on the chat have something to do with it, but at the end of the day, you took those decisions.
This might be the first time I'm ever saying it.
Listen, fatherhood is energy, not just an example. And I'll say that again. Fatherhood is your energy, not just your examples. You can say all day and tell a child what you want them to do and what you don't want them to do. But they're always going to mirror what they see in who you are. It's an energy. They're going to mirror your energy. You can tell them not to pick up the candy or not to put your hands in the fire, but they're going to try that if you are the person who's actually doing that yourself. I know I grew up in an ethnic background is do what I say, not what I do. But that doesn't work. It's do as I am. You have to show by example. And you have to show not only by your example and your actions, but also in your energy. It has to be embodied. And that's the issue here. He's saying, oh man, don't do that. And you were wrong for that. But he's showing up energetically so terrible, so malicious, and so condescending and humiliating to his son. And he's probably been doing that from day one. And I continue to see this play out in different ways. I mean, this is more of an extreme way, but me as a father, I can only have compassion and sympathy for what I'm seeing.
Not that it's not real, but this is probably the clearest example. This is what I imagine when people think of toxic masculinity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
He was getting upset with his chat because someone said you're too nice. Oh, you're not nice? Someone said you're not a crash out. Oh, you're gonna see I'm a real crash out.
I'm gonna fake crash out. All right, bet. You about to see how fake of a crash out I am. I'm too nice. Bet. But I don't believe I'm
hurt people.
Disrespected too. People think this shit's a fucking game. But you would be talking like this if you was in front of me, nigga.
People were able to goad this guy into having the most extreme reaction, all because he was being diplomatic. That he accepted the other person's apology and moved on. Now, nigga, you gotta get your respect. And people actually think this was an acceptable response. To me, if you think this is acceptable, you got problems. We have this whole thing of like, don't ever accept no disrespect. You step on your shoes, even if it's an accident. This is all dumb shit.
I let some shit slide. To be honest with you, if I'm not in my country, if I'm not in my hood, if I don't know people, they step on my shoes, so what?
Also,
I don't know who I'm talking to.
Can we take 2 steps back? We also have to talk about what people even consider disrespect. Can I be honest? This situation wasn't disrespect.
That's good.
It was a misunderstanding.
It was a misunderstanding.
But he let chat convince him he was disrespecting
Yes.
me for letting it happen.
Yes.
Like, here's an example. Let's say it's my best friend. And we're supposed to meet up in a crowd. I would certainly agree to him. So I just grab him from behind like this. And I think it's my friend. I grab him. He turned around. It's not my homie.
What are you doing?
Oh, my bad. I thought you were someone else.
No, you can't disrespect me like that.
See what I'm saying?
That's not a disrespect. That's a good
Now, you can
point.
say that Stu should have known better, but from my vantage point, Stu, the guy who did the beer can thing with the prop, my point is, people can say you should have known better. That's a crazy thing to do to someone if you're not sure. And I can agree. But Stu's got PTSD. 1, 2, he looked a little bit slow. I'm going to say it straight. So knowing that, I think it's okay to say there's a difference between disrespect and misunderstandings.
Yeah.
And if you can't have a bit of grace for that, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but he's not going to have grace from that because he's starting from a place of hurt. And hurt people, I know I keep repeating this, but hurt people. So when you're starting from a place of hurt, you're starting from a place of, not that I'm bruised, but I have a broken leg. And when people bump into that, you're going to blame them for breaking your leg, when really what they did was just bruised you because your leg was already broken. His leg was already broken by his father. And he's treating everybody else like they broke his leg rather than they just pushed into him or they bruised him. And that's the issue. Accountability is the start of healing. And I don't see any accountability on any of their parts. And that is another issue with what I see here. When he's talking about toxic masculinity, it's being assertive and being forward without being grounded. When you are going to be assertive and you're going to be forward and you're going to move forward with that kinetic masculine energy, but it's not grounded, then it's completely toxic because it comes off as super aggressive and super angry and just super forward in everybody's face. When you have that grounded, then you can make better decisions. And when you can make better decisions on how you want to package that and how you want to channel that energy, it comes off as power, influence, and leadership. And that's not what we see. And accountability.
Valid point.
What is he? He was clowning him for being gay, right? Oh, you're right, a bunch of niggas in tights. I can joke like that with you because we don't really care about you guys say I'm gay, whatever. I was wrote up on niggas with tights. I don't really care. If you actually care, to me, that's a problem. Y'all really acting like him being at a wrestling event is something to be ashamed of. Yeah, that's what I would call toxic masculinity.
Every time that someone's talking about toxic masculinity, they don't talk about something else, right? His being was not toxic masculinity. Is that in his head, well, in his life, in his path, he had 2 choices: masculinity and whatever the fuck he did. Being diplomatic is masculine. It's also feminine. But because it's the male that we're talking about, there's a male way of doing masculine things. Talking to a dude and being like, you know what?
Shaking his arm?
You know what I mean? You know what? I understand. Okay,
You get a hit on me.
Accountability and understanding.
But then the other thing, the sneaky stuff, that's the other choice that you did.
I'm pretty confident that if there was no stream involved, none of this would happen. No. Rampage is too busy trying to be entertaining instead of being a father. Raja is too busy trying to live this idea of somebody rather than trying to be himself and find his own lane. Because we impose a lot of this like hyper masculine bravado, a lot of people end up losing themselves. Random niggas at home got you in a chokehold.
It's a succubus.
No pun intended.
Even when you see him afterwards, he's pouring his heart out. He's being very honest. No one's gonna call me a...
Tell the motherfuckers playing with me, bro.
You can tell
I'm
that
sick
for
and
him,
tired of
it had
everything.
nothing to do with the man who hit him specifically. He was just a reflection of all the making fun of that you see from his dad, from
All
the
the
whole
baggage
world,
from all
and
the years.
he's not managing it well. And it makes me think of those crash outs who get rejected by winning enough, and then all of a sudden they go shoot up a spot. Oh, how could she reject me? Oh, no, after you just murdered 20 people. Oh, nigga, I think she had a good reason to reject you. He just proved their point. I'm not a...
You are.
I really feel this way. He really takes up after his dad.
That's my girlfriend, nigga. Why you hitting on my right in front of me? I'll break you out of here, nigga. Look at, he mad. So why you hanging out at my table and that shit is hot if you work here?
If it's your table, it's my table.
Are you being a right now?
I'm not trying to be.
But you are, though.
Well, that's just because you're sensitive then.
Hey, get the fuck out of my table. I already figured out. Get your ass off my table.
He's sensitive.
He's a bit of a crash out himself.
Yeah.
But again, if you watch him, you'll
Listen,
know this.
at the end of the day, a healed father doesn't just raise healed kids. He raises healed generations of children and of people that are actually mirroring that example. It's breaking a generational curse, generations of curses that can be passed down. And until that happens, either with Rampage or hopefully his son wakes up, and then we're going to see this continue perhaps with their kids and their kids' kids. And that's the challenge that I have with you today. If you do the identity recalibration and you strategically reprogram your issues, your beliefs, your patterns, your unresolved traumas, the things that you can't see, I think that's another problem. A lot of people consciously are going through life like, hey, I'm good. But it's all the things that they can't see, they're blind spots. And that's why we do this work, so we can uncover the blind spots. And when you can uncover your blind spots, that makes you unstoppable. It gives you back your power, because it then turns your weaknesses or your perceived weaknesses now into strengths. So now you have two things. You have your strengths that were originally your strengths, and now you have more ammo, more resources to create the life that you deserve. Okay, fam, so what do you think? Are fathers today leading their homes? Or are they leaking the same unhealed energy that they grew up under? Because from my experience, fatherhood isn't about control. It's about conscious leadership. And it's your energy that's the blueprint that your son will build his life on. He doesn't become what you tell him to be. He becomes what you've shown him to become. But anyways, drop your thoughts below and let's hash this out like men. Either way, I would love to hear your feedback. And if you're ready to go beyond just consuming this content, join me inside the Executive Mindset School. It's where high-performing men like you come to reprogram, recalibrate, and rise together. Links in the description. And until next time, let's build wealth from the inside out.